In number 16, COC is right angle. So let's make a graph. So if we put C at the origin, A, B. D lies in the interior of AB. So D is somewhere here. And point lies BC. Okay, and AC is equal to CD. I think it's better to choose. CD DE is equal to EB. And the ratio of AC and DE is 4 to 3. So let's say, for example, the length of AC is 4. Uh, in such case, the length of D is 3. So ACD and DEB, they are both isosceles, isosceles triangles. So they have the congruent base angle. And in this case, the dot and the hole, they are complementary because ACB is a right triangle. So because they are complementary, that means this angle is also right angle. That means the triangle DCE is a right triangle, So using Pythagorean theorem, the length of C is 5. Uh, and, hmm, yeah, so uh, we can find the equation for the line segment of AB because the y-intercept is 4 and x-intercept is 8 because 5 plus 3 is 8. So if we make the equation, using x and y intercepts, we can make this equation. So the point D is on line of AB, segment of AB. So if we make the x and y coordinate, this x AB satisfies this equation. And then the length of CD is 4, so we can use Pythagorean theorem. Oh, why is this so complicated? Yeah. So when you solve this system, when you multiply a to both the equation, both the sides, and we can substitute uh, a with a minus 2b. Yep. So when we make this quadratic equation, uh, yep. So we can factor this equation. So this means b is 12 divided by 5. 4 doesn't make sense because b's maximum value is 4. So that means if we subtract 12 over 5 from 4, that's 8 over 5. So that means this point divides the segment AB with a ratio of 8 and 12. So what's the simplified ratio of 8 to 12?
Hmm? Uh,
Yeah.
um, uh, 4, 6, 2, 3.
Yeah, 2, 3. Yeah. Am I right? 8 to 2. Yep, so the answer is A. Yep. Mm, so in this case, let's first find out when both the balls are tossed into the same bin. So the probability that both the balls are tossed into the first bin, bin one, because the probability is 1 over 2. So this is first probability, and the probability for both the balls are to be tossed into bin 2. Uh, bin 2's probability is 1/4, and because both the balls are tossed to bin 2, when we multiply this 1/4 twice.
May I quickly go use the restroom?
Oh, okay, sure. Yep.
I am
Oh
finished.
yeah. Yep. So this makes the infinite geometric series. So we can use a formula when the ratio is less than one. So one third is the probability that both the balls are tossed into the same bin, and the other cases will be the red ball is higher than green ball, or green ball is higher than red ball, and because it's symmetric, both of the possibility will be the same. So that means we can first subtract the probability for the same bin from the total, and then it's divided by 2. So when you calculate this fraction, which one is the answer? So when you subtract one third from 1, that's 2 thirds, and when it's divided by 2 means multiply half. So the probability for red ball to go higher than a green ball is one third. And likewise, the green ball goes higher than red ball is also one third. So the answer is C. So in this case, Henry keeps changing his mind between home and gym. And so if we make the number line for this case, the home and gym are located at each endpoint, and A and B will be somewhere in between. So if we say the distance between home and A is x, the distance between A and gym is 2 minus x, because the total distance between home and gym is 2 kilometers. Mm. So he changes his mind 34th of the route. So that means B is located with a ratio of 3 to 1 between A and G. So that means this length is 3/4 of the distance between A and G. And then A will be also located between h and b with a ratio of 1 to 3. So we can make the proportion. So ha to hb x to 3/4 of 2 minus x is equal to 1 to 3. So when we solve this proportion, 30x is equal to this. So 3 cancel, multiply 4. So x is 2/5. So we want to find the distance between a and b. So if x is 2/5, when you subtract 2/5 from 2, that's 8 over 5. Yep, so when you change this fraction to mixed number, which one is the answer? That's 6/5. So change this to mixed number. So the answer is C. When it becomes a mixed number, it's 1 and 1/5. So in this problem, we can first make the prime factorization of 100,000 because 100,000 is equal to 10 to the 5th power. That's equal to 2 to the 5th power and 5 to the 5th power. And when we multiply these factors, the maximum factor and the maximum number we can get is 10 to the 10th power, because the maximum number will be obtained by multiplying 10 to the 5th power, and this means this maximum number will have 2 to the 10th power and 5 to the 10th power. So if we want to find the number of factors, in this case, we are adding 1 to each exponent. And multiply it. So the number of total factors is 11 squared, which is 121. But there is constraint. The element, in this case the factors, should be distinct. And that means from these factors we should exclude 1 because 1 is made by 1 times 1, and these two are not distinct. Or 2 to the 10th power. 2 to the 10th power is made by multiplication of 2 to the 5th power, so they are not distinct. Or 5 to the 10th power, that's also made by two identical factors, so it should be excluded. And finally, this 10 to the 10th power, it should also be excluded because it's made of two identical factors. So when we subtract the case of these uh, factors, we should subtract 4 from 121. So what's the difference between 121 and 4? Can you hear me?
Uh,
Yep. Subtract 4 from 121.
117.
Yep. So the answer is C. I think. So basically, we wanna find the area of the shaded region. Yeah. So the diameter of each hemisphere is 2. So that means the radius of the big circle, the length of FG is 2. Yeah. Yeah. And then so from the big circle's area, we need to subtract this this one, this one, and because the ratio of the side length is 2 and 1, that means this angle is 60 degree. So this angle is 30 degree, complementary to 60 degrees. So to find this part, we need to subtract the area of the triangle. Let's say this point is H. So we need to subtract the triangle FGH from the sector made by this FGH. So I wanna do this. To find this part. Because the central angle is 30 degrees and the radius is 2. Uh, and the area of a sector is 4 pi and 1/12th of 4 pi because 30 degrees is 1/12th of 360 degrees. So that means pi over 3, 1/3 of pi. And the area of the triangle is half times sine 30 degrees 1 over 2. No, this is 2. This is 2. Yeah, so the area we want is pi over 3 minus 1. That's very small area. And the next thing we want is we need to subtract this GCH because that's also white. To do that, I'm going to subtract the area of this blue triangle from the quarter circle. So the quarter circle's area is pi over 4. And then so we can find the length of GH using law of cosines. So law of cosine means GH squared is FG squared, FH squared. So and cosine 30 degrees is equal to square root of 3 over 2. And using Pythagorean theorem, let's say this point is I. We want to find the length of HI. So if we use Pythagorean theorem, IH squared is GH squared minus GI squared. And because GI is the radius is 1, so that's 7 minus this value. So if we take the square root, that's equal to 2 minus square root of 3. So in such case, the area of GHI is the half of the length of HI, because the height is 1. So if we wanna find uh, this part, how can I say this part? We are going to subtract this area from the quarter circle. That is quarter circle area is pi over 4 minus so yeah, so we found the area of two regions. First one is this, and second one is this. I mean, this is the area for this part, and this is the area for this part. So when we add these two, the sum is and then there is a quarter circle here, so we are adding one quarter circle, and that's the half of the area that we are going to subtract, because there is a left half for the same area. So if we add this, let's say so A, B, and C. This is B plus C. So A plus B plus C is yep, so adding quarter circle makes 2/3 of pi. And the reason we want is subtract 2 times this area from 4 pi. Mm, yep. Yep, so this is the area. So when we compare this to this value, yeah, A is 8, B is 3. And C is 3. And D is 4. Yep, so what's the sum of A, B, C, and D?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sum of these 4 numbers is
18.
yeah 18. Yeah. Where is 18? What is going on here? Let me see. Some we need to how can I say? We can simplify this. No. So what is wrong with this? Oh my. Why? Why it's not working? Oh my god. Where is 18? Uh, pi. Ah, this is 7 over 12. So this is a 7. So that means, wow. Quarter. Something. Something is not right. I mean, okay. Am I right? Yeah, but I think now it makes sense. Am I right? Okay. This is 7 instead of 8. Yep, so now it's 17 instead of 18. Yep. Um, yeah, so in this problem, she will have 2 heads in a row, and the game finishes. So the last two should be 2 H's. And before that, she sees a second tail. So that means uh, right before 2 heads, she should see tail. And then first head and second tail. So this is the last 5 outcome that she has. And then we can continue this forward by attaching th like this. So by attaching this th, she sees the second tail before second head. So this is a second tail, uh, and then this is a second head. So so the first probability is uh, 1 over 32 because there are 5 flipping, and that's one case out of 5 flippings. So 2 to the 5th power is 32. And for the second probability, the adding th means we are multiplying 1/4 to the original probability. And we can keep attaching this th forward before she sees the 2 heads in a row. So for the third possibility, uh, we can keep multiplying this 1/4. So this goes indefinitely. So the sum of this makes the infinite geometric series. And because 1/4 is less than 1, we can use the formula for the sum of infinite geometric series. So the first term is 1 over 32, and the ratio is 1/4. So this means we are multiplying 4 over 3 to 1 over 32. Yep. So what's the product between 1/8 and 1/3?
1 over 24.
You're right. So the answer is B. This is another problem with the probability. So there are 3 people, and they start with $1 for each, and they always need to give away $1 to the other 2 people. So the outcome will be either all 3 people end up with $1 each, or one person has $2 and one person has $1 and the third person has $0. So there are 2 outcomes, and we want to find the probability for all the people having $1. So let's just start with the $1 each. So for example, the R gives money $1 to S, and S gives money to T, and T gives money to R. That's one possibility. So we can think of such possibilities. Something like this. S gives money to S, R gives to money to S, S to T, T to R, or no. Why it's not working? Or T can give money to either R or S. now S can give money to R instead of T. And now R can give money to T instead of to S. So there are total 8 cases because each person has two outcomes. 2 cubed is 8. It's like flipping 3 coins. So that means uh, if we make this triple, we can look at the end. So now all people have $1 each, and in this case, the S has $2. Let's say RST for the alphabetical order. So R has $0 and S has $2 and T has $1. And so we can find out each outcome like this, and this means because if we use 0 to 1, it's symmetric, it's cyclic. Using 3 different numbers, we can make 3 factorial cases. So 3 factorial is 6. And because there are total 8 cases, when you subtract these 6 cases, 2 cases remain. So that means there will be 6 cases for the 210. That means one person has $2 and the second person has $1 and third person has $0. And for the remaining 2 cases, all people have $1 each. So that means if we start with $1 each, the probability for the same outcome is 2 over 8, which is 1/4. And then we can also think about the case when one person has $2 and $1 and 0. So let's say R has $2 and S has $1 and T has $0. In this case, we can think of 4 possibilities. R can give money to S, and S can give money to T, but we don't have to think about T because T has $0. Or R can give money to T, or $1 money to T instead of S. So when we think of these 4 cases, the first case makes now R has $1 and S also has $1 and T has $1. So now $1 is distributed to each person. But if the money is exchanged between S and R, it's the same as the original case. and R to T and S to T. That means now T has $2. Or so once again, out of 4 cases, 3 cases, one person has $2, and 1 case has all people have $1. So in this case too, uh, the probability for each person to have $1 is 1/4. So that means uh, whatever the previous case is, uh, ending up with $1 for each person is always 1/4. So the answer is B. So to find the intersection point, it's on the x-axis. We can find the perpendicular bisector between A and B. So the midpoint between A and B is 9 and 12. Yep. And then the slope of AB is -1/3, 6. So that means the perpendicular slope is 3. So the equation for the perpendicular bisector is y is equal to 3 times x minus 9 plus 12. Yep, so what's the x-intercept of this line when y is 0? What's the value of x? When y is 0, the value of x is 5. So the intersection point is 5 and 0. Let's say this point is C. So if we connect C and A, the distance between A and C is, using Pythagorean theorem, 1 squared plus 13 squared, the sum is 170. So the distance is square root of 170. And AMC is right triangle because C is on the perpendicular bisector between A and B. and the length of AM is 3 and 1, so the sum of the square is 10, the square root of 10. So if we use Pythagorean theorem, the length of CM is square root of 160, so that's equal to 4 times the square root of 10. And we can think of the center of the circle, W. Uh, if the center of the circle is O, uh, because CA is a tangent line to circle O, this angle is also a right angle. It's perpendicular to the radius. And because the triangle AMC is similar to triangle CAO, the ratio between the longer leg and shorter leg is 4 to 1. So if we use the ratio, the length of OA is 1/4 of AC. So the radius is square root of 170 divided by 4. So for the area, the pi r squared, the area is if we make the square of the radius, that's 170 divided by 16 and pi, that's the area. So when you simplify this fraction, which option is the answer? Can you simplify this fraction?
Hmm? Ah,
Yep. Yeah, when you divide the numerator and denominator by 2. Yep.
85 over 8.
Yep. So the answer is C. Yeah, so to find this value, let's first subtract 4 from the sequence uh, in the formula of a recursive. So that means if we subtract 4, minus 4 is we can make the right side this way, and then let's say yn is equal to xn minus 4. So we can change this equation in terms of y. So the left side is yn plus 1, and the right side is yn times uh, yn plus 9 is on the numerator. The denominator is yn plus 10. Because x0 is 5, y0 is 1. And and this value yn plus 9 divided by yn plus 10, that's less than 1 because denominator is greater than numerator, and because we are multiplying a number less than 1 and to make the next term, that means this sequence is decreasing. And but the sequence itself is positive. So we are multiplying a number less than 1 to 1. So although the number keeps decreasing, the number cannot be negative when we multiply positive number. So that means the limit value of this yn will be 0, will be close to 0 because it's decreasing and it's bounded above. So in such case, when yn goes to 0, when n goes to infinity, it's close to multiplying 9 over 10 to yn to obtain yn plus 1. And that's a kind of approximation we can make. So it's similar to geometric sequence with the ratio of 9/10. So that means yn is close to 9/10 power of n, like this, because the first term is 1. So we want to find this value is close to 1 over 2 to the 20th power. So if we make the logarithm, in this case, n times log of 9 over 10 is close to minus 20 times ln of 2. So n will be close to this divided by ln of 9 over 10. Let's say 0.9. Can you find this value using calculator?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. I got around 131.58.
Oh, okay. So let's say 132 to be close. So, which interval from the options contain number 132?
C.
Yeah, C. Yep. So the answer is C. Yep. So I think we can stop here. So let's meet tomorrow at 10 in the morning for calculus.
Okay, bye, have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye.